Hello, everybody. It is Blind Metal Gamer. Hello, everybody. It is Blind Metal Gamer here with you once again, and it is time for another discussion. As tonight we're going to discuss the state of next gen game prices and what that could mean for the potential of the PlayStation 6, the next Xbox, and what we know for the Nintendo Switch 2. I'm going to break this out down into different categories. For each console, we don't know what the specs are for the PS6 or the next Xbox are yet, so I'm going to speculate on those, and I'm going to give you what I know about the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, what do we know about this in terms of cost? The cost of the Switch 2, I'm going to start with what I know first. The cost of Switch 2 is going to be $450 and $500. The difference is going to be the $450 version gets you the console, all the things you need to get started, all of the charging cables, etc. What that version does not get you is Mario Kart World. Now, you're probably thinking, Blind Metal Gamer, why would I want the version without the game? You're probably thinking, what would I want that for? Well, it depends on what other some folks are going to want. Now, if you want to get the one with the bundle in it of Mario Kart World, it's going to be $500. You're thinking, oh my God, Blind Metal Gamer, that's a $50 increase. Okay, not you're thinking not bad, right? Because if the Switch itself, the Switch 2 rather, is 450, and they're giving you the game at a $50 discount, you're thinking, oh, that ain't bad, right? Well, if you look at the price of Mario Kart World, if you buy it by itself, it is $80 digital. Yes, $80 digital, and for a physical copy, it's going to be $90 a pop. You heard that right. $90 a pop. And I'm probably thinking, I'm like, okay, who cares? And then I realized this is going to affect Sony, it's going to affect Xbox as well, because it ain't just Nintendo raising their prices, because you got to look at inflation, you got to look at economics, and right now it would not be the most expensive one, but that leads me into my next thing. We know what the Switch 2 will cost. We know how much it'll cost. We know how much the games are going to cost. What's this going to mean for Grand Theft Auto 6 coming out? What's this going to mean for the next NRS game coming out? What's it going to mean for um, a lot of those things? Hey, what's up, viewers? Welcome. So it means, okay, we know the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be more reasonable. You would think that the $50 price increase for the game is cool, but if you buy it separate, you're having to pay $80 to $90. Now, what's that mean for GTA 6? What does it mean for PS6? Well, if the prices are to be believed, and I want to give a shout out to GameCross. They were talking about how PS5 Slims could cost up to $700. This is the PS5 Slim, the current gen console that when it came out in 2020, you could buy for 450 and 500, just like the Wii or the Switch 2 rather. Yeah, yeah, Haven Gonzalez. I'm not joking here. The Switch 2 will be 450 and $500 depending on which version you get. Now, what I'm talking about with the PS5 currently, when you got it in 2020, it was 450 for the discless version. It was 400 for the discless version and 500 for the disc version. Me, I got the version with the disc drive included. Now, The rumor is the PS5 Slim could go up to $700, and the PS5 Pro. We thought $700 for a PS5 Pro was insane. No, 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 no. According to GameCross's latest video, $1,300 for the PS5 Pro. And you gotta again think about inflation. You gotta think about the tariffs that our current president, who I will not name, has sanctioned. That has a lot to do with it, and I get that. I'm not saying our president's a douchebag or whatever because I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to discuss the future of video game prices and console prices moving forward into the 10th generation because we know from the Switch's data and from what they gave us what to expect. Now, GTA 6, that has yet to come out. Now, if they're going to make it a cross gen game, they better do something real cool with the PS6 version. So, what this is going to mean is if this is the trend we're going to for the 10th generation, we all better get ready to strap in for $80 to $90 games, regular edition. I'm not talking about the premium editions. I remember back in the day, yeah, your boy Blind Metal Gamer remembers back in the day when he could get a premium game for $50, get the season pass, and get all the content. Like, okay, I'll tell a story. Mortal Kombat Armageddon, when it dropped, the premium version, $50. What did you get with it? You got a special case, you got the game, you got a couple other things. But the point was, it was about the price of a standard PS2 game at the time. Now we're getting into this situation where it's going to be um, $80 to $90 for standard. Now just imagine what that's going to mean for these deluxe editions, with quote unquote limited editions, with quote unquote fake early access. It's going to be insane, guys. We're going to have to be ready for it. So we think the PS5, if they're going to price up that to $700 and $1,300, you think that's insane? PS6, we better be getting ready for freaking $1,000 standards, and God, close to maybe $2,000, $2,100 Pro versions. We don't know yet, but if this is what's to be going, if we're going on that, yeah, really, yeah, we got to be ready for this because again, it's all about that money. I'll give another example. Okay, I'm watching the Nintendo Direct, right? I'm watching the Direct. I'm watching, and they're talking about a game. I think it's called Welcome to Switch 2 or something like that. And I'm thinking, okay, this might be a free thing for every Switch goer, or every Switch 2 buyer. Uh-uh, uh-uh, mm-mm. It is a paid piece of content where you basically use your Switch and all of its features to look around game. I mean, come on, you can do better than that. Nintendo, hell, I remember when Sony launched the PS5, we got Astro's Playroom for free, free in that, and it came packed and comes packed with every PS5 you buy. And you would think if they Nintendo would have been smart about it, they could have put that in there for free as a pack in to increase the value of that purchase. But no, they want to get your money. But yeah, guys, $80 to $90 a game is what we are going to be living in here real soon, and it could come as soon as Mortal or as Grand Theft Auto 6. So yeah, $80 to $90, guys. That is a hell of a lot of money for a video game. And I remember experiencing the when I got my PS2, $50. I thought that was a crunch. Then PS3, 60. PS4, 60. PS5, where we're at now, 70. PS6, the way it looks, we're gonna be paying up to $90. 80 to 90 unless they do something to cool that off and present us with something that's not gonna be make our wallets go, oh shit, because that's what it's gonna do. That's what it's gonna do. These prices are gonna crunch us, and we've already got enough going on economically in this world. $80 to $90 a game. Now I do understand the game development is becoming more and more expensive. I get that they got to hire a lot more people, so hence they got to raise costs to pay the overhead to pay the developers. I get that part, but the one thing that stings for me, the one thing that will sting as far as future game development, quality. And I say this because okay, 80 to 90 bucks. Let's say you're a small studio, your title's low budget, and you get X amount to make a game for a class, right? So you get home, you do what you gotta do, but, you know, get up, do what I gotta do there. Then I go, and the next day, I'll shoot. Oh yeah, I mean it's like, come on. Yeah, the PS6 is gonna be high. The next Xbox is also going to be a high-end item. Now, as far as the quality of these games, now we know all three consoles will have a screen reader. And Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, take advantage of these features you got. And Nintendo, this is your first screen reader experience with a handheld. I think you're going to enjoy it very much. It was an evil chocolate cookie. And I apologize if I sound a bit pooped. That's because I kind of am. So, yeah, we're talking the quality. I'm sure there will be developers that will want to just make a game, ship it out for 80 or 90 bucks, get the money back. I'm sure they'll be there. I won't be one of them. I'll be supporting games that do not do that and do not do the early access gimmick like you did. Where you had the kid. Oh God, it was. Anyway, I'm getting off topic here. So yeah, these game prices are nuts. The fact that we could be seeing games priced regular edition up to $90 for physical copies is nuts. Now I want to talk briefly about the systems. Um, we know that the Switch 2 will be 450 and 500. PS6 and Xbox, we're speculating. I've heard that it might be 4 5. It might be hey viewer, what's up? Okay, so all right, now we know that the Nintendo Switch is 450 and 500. Now, let's talk about PS6. We know nothing about the PS6 right now. Nothing. All we know is it's coming, and it's going to have an AMD chip. Now, and I'm going to speculate here. Based on what we know so far, I would say the PS6, and I'm just guessing, will be probably between $600 and $800, and then games will be between 80 and 90, just like with the Switch 2. Next Xbox, I'm going to say this. The next Xbox, I would think, will be between the system. I would have to find the information out as far as the PS6 and the next Xbox. But if that's the case, if we're going to have to pay up to $800 a system for the high end one and $90 a game, it's going to be too much for a lot of folks. Hey, viewer, what's up? So yeah, that's what we're going to get into. I mean, the world we live in right now is we're going to have to pay. It looks like $90 a physical game, up to maybe $800 a system for PS5, 6, and Xbox, whatever. I mean, come on. If I, as a consumer, if I gotta pay up to $800 for your box, it better do a hell of a lot. It better have every game that I purchase with it be screen reader compatible and screen reader supported. Um, and believe me, if I ended up going on that and it didn't have what I needed, I would freak out. So I'm glad that Nintendo is making yeah, that Nintendo is making her kids do that, and I hope she does. Now, as far as my thoughts on all this, I'm gonna be blunt. I think it's bullshit. I mean, I know why, but it's because of inflation and because of all the tariffs and all the stuff and the hoo-has and doo-dahs that are coming into it. Now, I hope you have a good one. Uh, I will talk at you all later. All right, before we let's see here. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up here in a bit, here in a minute, because I pretty much said what I'm gonna say. We're gonna be in a world where these games are gonna get really expensive, and if they're gonna be expensive, they better be accessible. Now, as far as expense wise, I don't know what really to say because we don't have much to go on right now, so I'm just speculating. So, with that being said, I'm gonna wrap this up. I hope everybody has a good evening and a good weekend. Stay safe and dry. And I'll see you guys in the next live stream and in the next video. Until next time, so long everyone, and peace out.